Hello and welcome to oddsmarket.com. I'm Natalie Rydstrom. Joining us right now is Martin Greener. We're going to run through the early Euro 2016 futures. France, which is not a surprise, they are the favourites. Generally, the host nation is. You can get them 4.5 Paddy Power. Do you think they should be the favourites?
I'm not sure they should, to be honest. I can't really understand why Germany aren't the favourites. They won the World Cup at a canter. They beat France in the quarterfinals. They went on and beat Brazil 7-1 or 7-0 in the semis and then beat Argentina in the finals. They proved themselves as the world's best team. And I don't really think anything has happened since then to suggest that they're not. A couple of months ago, Germany were the favourites to win this. Since then, they've lost to England in a friendly match. But I don't really think that you should read too much into a friendly result, really. I still, to be honest, I think Germany are the team to beat here. Although France are very strong, and yes, as you say, they have home support, which will count for a lot.
Yeah. Do you think the fact that the last time that they hosted a major tournament, which was the World Cup 1998, do you think they won it? Do you think that has anything to do with them being sort of favourites to win this tournament?
Yeah, to be honest, that might be playing on the bookmakers' minds. They can really count on vociferous home support. I think anyone gets a boost by playing at home. But as we saw in the last World Cup in Brazil, it didn't really work out for Brazil very well when they were hammered by Germany in the semi-finals. So it's not a guarantee. I'd argue that the current France team isn't quite as good as the team that won the World Cup in 1998, but they are probably the best side we've seen since then. They've got good strength all over the pitch. I think they really are going to be a force to be reckoned with here. I definitely think it is between France and Germany.
Yeah, well, like we saw at the World Cup with Brazil being the host nation, they made it to the semi-finals. How deep of a run do you see France making?
Oh, I definitely think they'll be there or thereabouts. It depends on how the draw falls. I think if they do come up against Germany, they might struggle. But if they're kept apart in the draw, I can see them. Making the final. I'd say potential banana skins against the likes of Spain, England, and perhaps Belgium. But I think they should have a good run at it. They've got a very good team.
Yeah. Now, obviously, because I'm going to run through the top five here, the top five favourites. France is from Group A. They are the favourites to win Group A, as is the rest that I'll bring up. Germany, Spain, England, and Belgium, all favourites to win their respective groups. If there is value, I think there's one that is not. I think it's Germany, who is priced low. I think it's about 1.4. The others actually do present value. Would you back them each to win their respective groups?
I think so, yes. I think they are the best five teams in the competition. Just by the vagaries of the way things go, probably one of them will let you down.
Yeah, probably.
Somebody generally tends to. But yeah, if you're talking about putting a single bet on each one, or perhaps a combination bet where you do doubles and trebles within that five, I think there's some value there, definitely. Yeah, I think they should. They should. One will probably let you down, but I think at least four should be good.
I know, unfortunately, that always does happen. It's trying to determine which one, which is the hard part. Let's talk about Germany now, Group C. Still very good value. You get that about 4.8 as sort of second favourites to win Euro 2016. They won the World Cup, and in style. That's where my money's going on right now, I have to say. What do you make of Germany's chances?
Oh, I think they've got a fantastic chance, and I think it's a really good time to bet on them now because the odds have drifted out. The odds on France have drifted in. So I think that when the group stage gets underway, you'll see their true quality. And I think the odds could shorten on them. So I think now's a good time to back them. I think they're a very good side. I think the only sort of potential negative about Germany is they don't really have that out-and-out striker. They're outstanding in midfield. They've got a great goalkeeper. They're very solid in defence. But they might lack a forward. Thomas Muller will probably play up front, but he's a bit more of a winger. So they might struggle there, but they've got so much creativity. They've got a fantastic manager. They are the world champions. They are the team to beat. So I'd put my money on them now.
Oh, yeah, I'd say a nice bet that I like actually involving Germany is Germany to reach the semi-finals. 1.91 William Hill.
Oh, just bite your hand off. That's a great bet.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's
I'm
what I
going to get
thought.
on that right now. That's fantastic, fantastic value. I really like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that as well, actually. I really like that one. I thought that there isn't for France to reach the semi-finals. That's a little bit too low. I think it's about 1.57, something like that. Germany to reach the semi-finals, 1.91. So that's what I'm taking.
Brilliant.
Spain is the third favourites from Group D, 6.5, Bet365. They're in a very strong position right now, but obviously in the World Cup, which might be something which is in their minds. Obviously, they were out in the knockout stage, which was a surprise to many. Can they bounce back from that and actually sort of, put in a good performance here in the Euro 2016?
I think they can. The last time we had a European Championship, 2012, they won it quite easily. They won the 2010 World Cup. They were the favourites going in for the 2014 World Cup. It
Yeah.
didn't quite happen for them.
Nope.
They're not quite the side they were. A lot of their best players, such as Xavi Hernandez, have got a bit old and retired, but they're still an exceptionally strong side. You look at the Champions League, the teams that are dominating, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, a lot of their players are Spanish. They've got an exceptionally good side. They're going to be one to watch here, I think.
Yeah, I tell you, I was actually living in Spain during the World Cup 2010. It was quite outstanding when they won, I have to say. So we'll see. Now, England. As much as I'm sure we all hope that they will win the Euro 2016. I'm not going to put my money on them, unfortunately. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm not going to be putting my money on them either. Although I would argue that they've got a better chance than they have for a while. They've been really disappointing and they've really flopped in big tournaments for so many years now. But I think England fans are daring to dream again because they've got a young guard coming through that are hungry, that have got this never say die attitude, and a lot of it's thanks to Tottenham Hotspur. So you've got Eric Dyer, Dele Alli, Harry Kane, all playing really well domestically. They're young, they're full of arrogance and confidence, and they're playing well. So I think they're in with a chance. I don't think anyone would want to face them. I think they're a nightmare draw for teams like Germany and France and Spain. Something tells me their experience will leave them just a little bit short here, but I think the future is a lot more positive for England than it has been for a while.
Well, that's good to hear. Obviously, they beat Germany 3-1 back in March, which has seen their odds drop. They were 13. They're now 10 to win the Euro 2016. How much of that match against Germany should we read into?
As I said earlier, it is a friendly, so you don't really want to read too much into it. A lot of these players are still really at a crucial stage in the domestic season for their club team, so they're probably going to be pulling out of tackles. They're not really going to be giving it their all. But having said that, England and Germany really are sort of old footballing enemies, and nobody's going to want to lose. And I would say that the team that England played against Germany is going to be pretty close to the team that will start in the Euros, plus with the added impact of Wayne Rooney to come into it. So I wouldn't read too much into it, but it's definitely a positive sign for England. I think they can progress quite far in this competition.
All right. Well, final team is Belgium, Group E. They're the fifth favourite. They're priced 13. I think they are an interesting dark horse here in the Euro 2016, and they are actually currently ranked as the best team in the world.
It's funny the way the FIFA World Rankings go sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, Germany won the World Cup. They topped their qualifying group. I can't see why Germany aren't the top team in the world, or maybe someone like Argentina. But they are a very good side. It seems like having spent decades in the footballing wilderness, they've just had this golden generation all come through at once. They are going to be a force to be reckoned with, although a lot of their top players aren't in the same form that they were a year ago. So I think they might be another one that progresses but falls just a little bit short.
Yeah, would you put any money on them at all to be that sort of dark horse bet?
Yeah, I think they're an interesting dark horse bet. Maybe go each way to see if they get to the final. Certainly, if you're hedging your bets and spreading it across a few teams, I think they're definitely one to look for. I think they are deservedly the fifth favourites. I don't have it to hand, but I'd be interested to see the price of them reaching the semis because I think that could be interesting.
Yeah. Now, right now, obviously, we are still quite a bit away, and it's quite interesting to run through these odds now to then sort of see how they'll change from kickoff in June 10th there. But right now, if you had to place a one bet, apart from the one that I mentioned, Germany to reach the semis, is there anything else that you would look at, maybe a top goal scorer or something like that? You mentioned Thomas Muller. If you think that Germany can, make a deep run, would he be somebody? Is there anything that you're looking at right now?
I haven't actually really thought too much about top scorer, but now that you mention it, has to be Muller for me. I think the other one that I would possibly look at as well is Griezmann for France.
Hmm.
Karim Benzema isn't going to be playing in this tournament. He's had this real controversial incident with Valbuena, so he's not going to be making the France team at all, which leaves a free spot up front for Griezmann to claim. He's in fantastic form for Atletico Madrid. So I'd look to him and I'd look to Thomas Muller. Those are my two tips for the tournament's top scorer. You've obviously got players like Ronaldo, who is by far and away the best goal scorer in the tournament, but playing for Portugal,
Well,
they
exactly.
probably won't progress quite as far. So you would think he's got less of a chance to actually make an impact, and he hasn't got as good players feeding him crosses as the likes of France and Germany. So they look like a very good tip for me. If I was going outright right now, I'd go for Germany.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
with you.
those two look very good for top scorer. Definitely check out Griezmann.
All right, fantastic stuff. That finishes off our early Euro 2016 coverage. This is the first of many. We are going to be covering it left, right, and centre over at oddsmarket.com. So do bookmark our page and check in regularly for more information. Martin, thank you for joining us.